What's going on, Garage Gang? Matt from GarageMC here. Guys, you know what? Taking a little break from the 330R because I got to pull my welder out and fix the trumpet for the TRX5B pipe. Got to weld the loop back on there for the spring. So I'm like, you know what? There's something else I got to... What did I need to pull the welder out for? Oh, I got to fix the kickstarter on this 86 ATC200X. But I'd like to, in this video, let's do the little dress up to this thing, man. Stay tuned. The 1986 ATC200X, we knew in the video that it runs. So I got my IV bottle from, take a guess, Curdy over at 223cycles.net. Sells all kinds of products. I got some stuff for this bike. I have the correct seat cover that says ATC on it. You can see it sitting on the front of my 330R over there. I threw these other tires that I had just on here because the ones that were on it were bald and wouldn't hold air, so I put these on just to move it around. One thing we have not done yet, let's see if this thing goes through the gears, man. I don't even know if this thing moves under its own power, but if you guys didn't catch the first video, 1986 ATC200X, OEM plastics, front and rear. Gas tank is Schottky's. So I got another one, pulled the dents on. I got to paint that and put the graphics on. I have a full graphics kit from BlueLineDecals.com for this bike. I have some other stuff here for it. I don't even know what I ordered anymore. I don't even know what's in here. New uni. I got the better looking foot pegs. I got stuff for the front forks. The OEM filter with the cage. New headlight bulb. A couple other things. Fork boots from Curdy over at 223cycles.net. Just to show you guys the differences, man. You cannot get OEM fork boots for these bikes, which if you guys watch my channel, you know I definitely prefer the OEM fork boots, but they do not make them. You can't, they're just not available. So as a comparison, here's your little, you know, $20 eBay knockoff ones, and then here's the ones that Curdy has produced. So we will, you know, we'll line them up and see which ones look better, what seat cover we're going to run. The ones from Curdy will match this seat cover better, and the eBay ones will match the seat cover that's on it better as far as the blue goes. But that is not the correct seat cover for an 86. That is the correct seat cover for a 1985 ATC200X. 83 and 84 was black, 85 was blue, just like this. Your typical Honda in the back, 200X on the side. Yeah, let's I got the IV bottle hooked up. I just put a hose clamp on it. Let's see if she'll fire after sitting in the shed for as long as it's been since the last video. I'll put you guys on the helmet mount and let's go take this thing around the block and see if it goes through all, I believe, 6 gears on this. If any of you guys are wondering what I'm talking about welding on the Kickstarter, it's supposed to be level with the peg like that there. So if you could see in here, it's a little worn down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to TIG weld a little puddle on the section where the stopper meets this part of the kicker, the knuckle, and file that back down and, you know, make it look like it was never touched. IV bottles on the valve, which is really cool. This IV bottle comes with a little fuel valve here, so it's not like you're just going to be winging it and, you know, have to burn through it or kink the hose or anything. That's exactly how it comes from Curdy at 223 Cycles. All right, I got the switch on. We're in neutral. This bike's too good, man. I have this thing actually up for sale, guys. I think I'm going to take the ad down and at least until after I do a few things to it. We got no air filter on here. Let me shut that off. We'll start it up after I put the camera on my helmet. There is no air filter or air box on this bike right now, guys, and if you're wondering why, I'm going to tell you why right now. CFM Performance, the company that I, you know, buy products from and have a partial sponsorship from, it's not a full sponsorship, you know, they make like the air box for the 250R, LT500, LT250R, which you've seen me install on the 91 LT250R. They make oil tanks for the 400EX. What they don't make yet is the airbox for the 86-87 ATC200X. These bikes are actually pretty rare, the 86. 87's even more rare. They're just few and far between, you know. I don't normally like to throw out the word rare. Yeah, you could probably find a couple for sale. Not as plentiful as like the first gen 83, 84, 200X, and then the 85, 200X is even a little bit more rare than the 83, 84. 86, 87 though, they just don't pop up that often. So CFM, I sent them the OEM airbox to this. They are remaking that out of aluminum. This way they're available to the public. So I'll give you guys an update when those are available, when I receive my OEM one back. They'll probably send me one that they make out of aluminum too. Probably gonna leave this bike OEM though. You know, she's not a speed demon, so ain't really no sense in dumping a bunch of money into something that I'm probably not going to ride a lot. Oh, before we ride, I got new exhaust gaskets. She's leaking a little bit there, and while the exhaust is off, I'm going to sandblast and recoat this DG header and silencer, just to, you know, doll it up. I got the paint for the engine too. I believe I got a new bolt kit for this thing too. Not sure. I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money on it, but you know, it's worth doing a light resto on this thing and really maximizing my profits off of it. So let me bolt you guys on the helmet mount, and let's go see if this thing goes through its gears. Hopefully it does. Otherwise, this video is a total trash project. All right, guys, I got you on the helmet mount here. If the angle's a little screwy, sorry. We're just doing this just to see if it goes through its gears, like I said. All right, we're leaking a little bit here. Hopefully that's from a loose connection and not that stupid Chinese carburetor on there. All right, so let's see here. First gear. Okay, we're in good shape so far. That doesn't mean we have all of them though. Oh yeah, three-wheeler. 3 axes to be on, not 2 like a dirt bike or 4 like a quad. Alright, first, second, third. I'll go in fourth after we make the turn here. You guys don't see my damn street signs. Some of you creepers out there. Some of you creepers out there. Heard some pretty weird stories about shit, man. Come on, guys. Privacy, you know what I mean? Alright, so we're in third. Fourth. Looking good so far. So that's fourth. Now, fifth. And sixth. Look at that, man. Yeah. Alright. That's exciting, man. That's exciting. That is exciting. Back to fifth, back to fourth. We'll take a little turn here. We're in fourth right now. Fifth. Sixth. Alright, man, we got all our gears. Let me get back to GarageMC headquarters. Oh shit, we got no brakes. Probably should have checked that. We got a little bit of front brakes. Alright, man, we're in good shape, fellas. Damn, these 200Xs are really fast, huh? Slow as hell. Slow as. Alright, so we have all of our gears. I was just thinking, probably should change these handlebars too and throw some new grips on. They're not OEM grips, not OEM bars either, so really ain't gonna matter. I'd like to take this bent parking brake off here. Somebody's just, I think I got a 350X one, or I probably have a Pro Taper clutch perch in the thing. So let's go do a little part shopping. All right, I know I got some more there we go. Here's some handlebars. Let's see what we got over here, huh? Let's see what we got over here. We've got, these will probably look decent on there, huh? Yeah, that might work. That Suzuki bar pad can go on the 500. Let's see, I got these or those blue ones, or maybe I should save those blue ones for the 5 for the Zilla. Ooh, these might be the move right here, fellas. I know I had some aluminum style bars. Yeah, you know what? I think we'll rock with these on the 200X, man. You know, either that, or was I gonna save these for the 350X? I forget. Don't worry, guys. All the 350X stuff is here. While we're in here, the 465EX, the bike that I started and lost interest in, and there's just thousands and thousands upon thousands of dollars sitting here. I don't know, man. I'm torn on that. I might just part it out. I might take the engine out and use it for a 350X build with a 400EX engine. And then with all this Lone Star stuff on this chassis, I might get a fuel injected CRF 450 engine for that bike. If you guys are new to the channel and you haven't seen that, check out some of the older videos, man. There's just so much money in this bike, and I don't know, man. I just, you know, I don't even know what to say. I really just don't even know what to say about it. It's just sitting here looking sad. Any of you guys are new to the channel also, we just scooped this up a couple weeks ago. Sold my 91 LT 250R, regrettably. Yo, Nick, West Michigan Motorsports. What's up, bro? This was the first quad we built on my channel. Be sure to check that out. Just went and rode this with Mike Sabo the other day. Me and him got a day in of riding, and you know, there'll be more stuff with me and him coming up soon. So, all right, let's go start messing with this 200X. All right, guys, I had to take a little bit of a detour and get this done. This is a CR500 rear shock. Vapor blasted it, touched up some scuffs that it had, and powder coated the spring. Illusion Blueberry. It's a color by Prismatic. It's pretty much the only powder I use here is Prismatic. But this shock goes on the Mark Lager Widowmaker ATC200X with a CR500 engine in it. Sick bike. I'm going to try and get you guys some footage of it here in the next week or so and show you guys the bike. It's actually a pretty rare bike, man. Anyway, all right. First thing I'm going to start with is I'm going to pull the handlebars off. We'll get this bike up on the jack. I want to swap out these fork boots. While I have the forks off, I'm going to clean up the lower tubes, clean up the wheel, and just clean up everything. I'll put new seals in here since I have them from Curdy over at 223cycles.net. New fork boots, and we'll change out the handlebars. I found a Pro Taper clutch lever that I had, and I don't know if that headlight works, but I bought a bulb, so it probably doesn't. That's probably why I have it. And then we'll move on to something else. So let's start the fun. All right, so this video is not a how-to, guys. I'm just basically, you know, you're just chilling with me in the garage like normal. I took the headlight off. It's just, you know, you just undo these rubber straps, all 4 of them, and then just unplug the headlight. You know, nothing crazy. I'm going to take the axle out now so I can drop the fork tubes, basically loosen all 4 of these, and this unspins from the other side of the forks. And then you can, you know, loosen up the pinch bolts up here on the triples, and that'll come out. I usually clean these up first with some Quad Zero steel wool and then slide them out. Just, you know, they're going to get cleaned up anyway when they're off the bike, but same procedure on the other side. We still have our helmet holder on here. We still have the bracket for the front brake line. It's missing the clamp, though, that goes where this rubber is. I'm pretty sure I have one. If not, I have something that'll be damn close and will work. And yeah, I didn't buy new headset bearings for this bike because there's no play in them. This bike is actually, I think, very low hour bike. It has barely any boot rub on the frame, and it's never been touched up before. So, you know, that's a good telltale sign to me that it's a low hour bike. So I don't really want to pull the triples apart. I can clean these up on the bike. I'm also going to touch up this red while I have access to it. I'm also going to take those aluminum bars there, and I'm going to run these through the vapor blaster real quick so you guys can see, you know, what they look like now. They're a little oxidized and everything, but they'll look a lot better than what's on there now. Those are old school Answer ATC bars. I have quite a few sets of those. There's another set there. I think my buddy wants a couple sets off me. I think I have like 4 or 5 of them, but all right. Let me vapor blast this, and then I'll put you guys on the tripod and we'll take the front wheel off. So I spared you guys all the bolt loosening and everything. Took the axle bracket off with the 4 lock nuts there, 10 millimeter. This is a 17 millimeter axle. I don't need to unscrew that yet till we pull the other side of the fork tubes out. So I have all these pinch bolts loose. I gotta clean this surface rust up a little bit because I don't want to drag it through the clamp and scratch up the chrome more. It's got a little bit of pitting going on, but I will clean that up pretty damn good. So let me get you guys on the tripod. We'll slide this fork tube out. If it will allow me. Yeah, she's coming out nice and smooth. All right. So there is the first fork tube. I had already loosened the screw to the fork boot clamp here. Go ahead and get this off of here. I'm going to vapor blast these boot clamps because they're a little shot. They're a little rusty, but definitely a must-have. You don't want the old fork boots to slide down. These just come off. Those are trash. I'm going to change the fork seal as well, the upper one. I'm not going to pull the forks apart because they still operate just how they should. So I'm going to clean this up real quick, change this fork seal, basically just take a flathead and pry that up, slide it off, plop the new one in. I'm going to clean them up real good, and then I'll show you guys this before we go to put it back on with the new fork boot. So stay tuned. I was going to do this first one off camera, but I cleaned up the whole fork tube. I didn't go nuts. I didn't want to change the factory coating on this or anything, but I just took the top seal out. Look how clean that is in there, man. Since 1986. It's in really good shape, but just wanted you guys to see that real quick. And I got all that surface rust and pitting off. There's a couple little deep spots here and there, but really not bad, man. She looks good. I'll show you guys how I clean that up when we take the other one off, because the other one's actually worse than this one is. You guys can see over there. See that spot up there on the upper fork tube? Oh. Anyway, all right, let me put this one back together and then we'll get that second one out. Now it's time to move on to the right side fork tube. Basically the same procedure, but the way that these come apart, you know, the caliper is bolted to the lower fork tube on the right side, which if you don't undo that, it's going to hold the rotor in, which is connected to the hub, which is connected to the wheel. So at the very least, you got to take these 2 bolts out and get the caliper out of the way. But you can't take the caliper, at least I know on a 350X you can't. This one you might be able to squeeze it, but you got to take the wheel off to get the caliper off. Kind of a pain in the ass, but you know, it is what it is. I got the brake line clamps on here, which is good. This still came with these. I'm gonna pull this front fender off camera, and I'm gonna touch this up off camera. I'm basically just gonna tape everything off. I'm probably gonna take the top triple off since that will still hold the lower triple in. There's another nut under this triple that holds the stem, you know, the triple forks, triple trees, whatever the hell you want to call them, together, because I'm going to redo this while I have it apart, and I'm probably going to try and clean this up too. But here's all that pitting that I told you guys about. Both forks were kind of similar. This one's the worst of the 2. I actually have another set of 200X forks, but they're for a first gen. They look identical, but you know, knowing Honda, there's probably something different. But here's how this one came out. You guys can see that. That was with Quad Zero steel wool, and I use car wash soap and water in a spray bottle. You can also use WD-40 to do that, but you have to use Quad Zero. So 4 zeros on the steel wool pack. Actually, here, I'll show you guys what it looks like. If you get the rougher one, you're going to scratch the hell out of everything. So let's see here. Where is it? Okay, this isn't Quad Zero. I thought I was using Quad Zero. Anyway, Quad Zero would be the finest, but I guess this was a number 1, so where the hell's my Quad Zero? Definitely double check your packages before you use stuff, guys. I could have really just damaged that, and that would have sucked. But came out good, thank God, you know? Got a little lucky on that one. So anyway, all right. I'm going to put you guys on the tripod. We'll take this wheel off and we'll get the caliper unbolted and get this other fork tube out so we can get this one cleaned up. And the new boot and seal on this one, the seals that came out of it, they are the OEM seals and they're in damn good shape, man. Like really good shape. So this thing being a low hour bike is probably exactly what I said. It's probably a low hour bike. You know, boot rub is usually a dead giveaway with that stuff. And this only has that little bit on the one side. So, all right, back to work. We've got the right side fork tube off. Just like I said, guys, I took the wheel off, 4 lug nuts with the left fork tube off. Take the wheel off, undo the 212s and the brake line clamp that went here, and then came off the brake rotor with it. And then I took out the axle, the hub. I just, you know, it's really hard for me to not strip this thing and repowder coat it while it's apart. But like I said, man, I'm really trying with every fiber of my being to not just be like, all right, yeah, let's strip this, because it would just be labor for me to get this thing looking good. You know, I don't really need to buy anything for it. You know, the frame is not bad at all. Like I said, I'm going to touch that up. You guys heard me probably say that 3 times already. But, you know, I'm going to do that stuff off camera. I went to take the front fender off, and this screw that holds the brake line in there, either I got to take it off of the brake caliper or somehow drill that out without damaging the fender, which I do not want to risk. If you guys don't know, the plastics for the 86, 87, 200X are worth a pretty little penny there. Nice shiny penny. So anyway, I'm going to do a pre-rinse on this first. I'm going to wash it down, get all the loose dirt off of it. Then I'm going to soak it down with LA's Totally Awesome degreaser, which is what I use on everything, man. It's just great. It doesn't etch the aluminum. I'm sure it would if you let it dry on there, you know, at a, you know, a concentrated amount. But I'm going to get all the loose dirt off. This way we're not using the steel wool to rub more dirt around on it. And then I'll show you guys how this stuff cleans up. Cleans up pretty damn nice when you know, got the proper stuff to do it with. So, all right, let me pre-rinse this. I still think this is the best tool that I have in my garage still, man. One of these insecticide sprayers, and I filled it with LA's Totally Awesome. It's just, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm corny, but this is like my favorite tool that I have. A little $20 insecticide sprayer filled with LA's Totally Awesome. That LA's Totally Awesome stuff, you can get it at the dollar store or $1.25 store now. Yeah, it's still got the markings in there, man. That's crazy. But I usually go there and buy every bottle they have. If you guys are paying attention, or maybe some would call it eye hustling, what's in my garage, you would notice that I have several bottles of LA's Totally Awesome on the shelf. They should sponsor me by now, I think, in my opinion. All right, I'll get all the loose dirt off of this. I'll get this better on the second time I clean it. So I'll clean it one more time off camera, and then we will steel wool the upper parts where the surface rust and pitting is. All right, so this is all pre-rinsed. You guys can see the LA's Totally Awesome really removed a lot of the surface stuff, but there's still some of the pitting. So like I said, what I use is just some car wash soap with water. You see it's nice and sudsy. You don't want to do this dry. I don't care how fine of a steel wool you have. And I lather it up pretty damn good with the soap. You know, soap's cheap, so some people might not know that, but soap is cheap. So anyway, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this that good, but you know, I don't put any pressure. I just basically the weight of my hand on it and go back and forth a little bit. I normally don't do circles with this. Like there's some pretty deep spots right there. So we're just gonna get what we can. I'm not gonna push my luck with this. I do not want to damage the finish on this more than it is. It's actually still tolerable the way it is. So I'll just do a couple passes. Just clean off all that surface rust. Some of the pitting you're not going to get out. Like right here, there's a couple little deep spots, almost like it's chipped. But all right, let me rinse this back off, and then we'll swap the seal and the fork boot on this one, and we'll start putting everything back together. Now that this is dried off, wiped off, I just take a very thin flathead, and you just want to very gently get up under that dust seal here. Dust seal, fork seal. If you type in either one on like eBay or just on Google, it'll pull these up for you. These, like I said, you can also purchase brand new from Curdy at 223cycles.net. And we just slide this puppy off. It's in really nice shape, man. Like I said, they're OEM, so nobody's ever been in here before. Here we are right here. Good old Curdy, man. Always comes through, guys. Always comes through. Ships fast, and his prices are very reasonable. He's just another guy that's into the sport just like us and likes to supply people with some of the parts that are hard to find sometimes. So, and I'll just put this up against my leg and get a nice tight positive engagement fit. Make sure you're seated all the way around. I usually grab it by the upper lip and push it. It gets in there real nice. If yours were dirty inside, you obviously want to clean them out real good first. Don't reseal these with dirt in them, obviously. All right, so the other fork boot for this, these are the ones from Curdy at 223cycles.net. Once again, be careful if you're buying like the cheap ones. Sometimes the diameter is not correct, either whether it be on the inner part of the fork tube or the lower section of the fork tube. You know, then you'll have a loose fork boot, and these actually, they're not just for aesthetic purposes. They actually protect your shock from dirt and mud getting stuck on these and then it's working its way into the valving system and all that. So these are, you know, they serve an important part on the bike, and they make it look good. So obviously it goes on in this direction here, and these are the, like I said, the proper size for the 200X. 200X fork boots, at least 86, 87 are hard to find. They're supposed to be blue on this bike, so a lot of people will find the first gen ones and put black boots on there, but you know, no offense to Curdy, but if they still made the OEM fork boots available, I would go with that just out of preference. But these are the next best thing, in my opinion, since you cannot get the OEM ones anymore. And it's got a nice tight fit around both the upper and lower part. And if you don't have your clamps anymore, Curdy also supplies zip ties with this. I thankfully still have my clamps. All right, my other clamp I have to put in the vapor blaster. This one's a little crummy looking too, but you can see how good I got the other one to clean up, man. Almost looks decent, you know, for what we're trying to achieve here. So, all right, let me get this other clamp in the vapor blaster, and then we'll pick back up and start putting the front end back together. After I touch up this part of the frame here, and I'm gonna clean some of the trees up too and figure out what I'm doing with that fender. So we'll pick back up after I touch that stuff up. All right, and here we are 2 hours later. Didn't take me 2 hours to do all this, but I took top triple tree, sandblasted that, recoated it black. I touched up the red with Passion Red touch-up paint. It almost looks the same color, but it's not, even though it's Passion Red. I think the 200X frame is a different red. So, you know, if I end up liking this bike, I will obviously strip it further, and, you know, we'll do more to it later on if I keep it. I'm just trying to, you know, even though that red's not the same, that's better than it being worn off and rusty. As you can see, the rust was already doing its lovely nature-like thing and pitting out the frame. So, you know, either way, even though it's not the same red, it's better than leaving it rusty and letting it eat away like that. All right, so reversal of what we just did. I'm gonna put the right fork tube in first and get the wheel and everything, you know, all lined up with the axle. And we'll pick back up after I get this mounted in. Same thing, man, slide it up and then just a reversal of what we did. The 330, oh my God, where'd the wheels go? Oh shit, somebody just robbed me. No, nobody robbed me, guys. I got rid of the Alba bead locks that were on this. Got what I paid for them, so you know, I'm going a different route. Wait till you guys see the wheels and tires I ordered for this thing. It is insane. It's gonna look so sick on there. But what came in that trade, I listen to you guys, man. I listen, I read my comments. Look what I scored. The red carbon fiber to match the red hood, and we got the rear master cylinder cover to match in red carbon. A lot of you guys voted on the red carbon for the 330. I had the black carbon. The red carbon is always out of stock everywhere, so just so happened somebody was like, yo, are you looking for these? Yes, I am. All right, enough with the 330. You guys will see that when that video comes out. Let me start putting this back together. All right, so I decided to stop at this point and show you guys what we got going on. So slid the right fork tube in. These are like this because I have the clamp tight, and when this goes straight, they're the way they should be. That's because they're a nice tight fit, not loose, cheesy eBay shit. Put the axle in, tightened it into this side here, then put my caliper on. Gonna need to order brake pads. Front and rear is down to the plates, so I'll go ahead and order those up. I think they're the same as a 400X rear. As far as brake pads go, front and rear on this bike. 212s, put that back on. So now I can go ahead and slide my wheel on and line the other fork tube up. I even redid that little like wire holder. I think it's hanging on this first gen 200X frame. Yeah, it's right here. I did that in a cast iron coating, so it should look decent in there. Vapor blasted a couple things. The bars I didn't really clean up like crazy because the grips are going to go on there. You're not going to see any of it anyway. I vapor blasted the little brake clamp there. This one here came out decently clean, but some of it's, you know, I didn't want to hit it too hard with the vapor blaster and take the zinc coating off of it, so that's clean enough for what we're trying to do. I even sanded down the Honda thing here, and I have a chrome paint marker that I went back over that. I know Vintage Motorsports or Vintage Power Sports, Mike Pomgren sells the new badge and the plate here. I still have my little cover plate that goes on this bike, so I don't really feel like spending $50 for a Honda badge, so there it is. Anyway, all right, that's one of my neighbors honking at me. Like they don't know that I'm filming by now. I'm pretty sure they all know what I do out here. I don't do all this stuff just for something to do. Anyway, all right, let me put this other fork tube in. We'll get this thing back down on wheels because it's starting to get dark, and now I got to figure out what rear wheels to put on that so I can put it away. Let's get it. I don't know, man. You guys tell me, bro. So I think, I mean, yeah, we just put some fork boots on and we cleaned up some stuff, and I redid the triple tree. I didn't put the grips on and the new clutch lever yet because I got to take these top clamps to the handlebar off yet. I didn't redo those, and I think I have better bolts, OEM Honda like ATC bolts that for the four for the clamps there. Vapor blasting will actually take that off. I've learned if I turn my air pressure down, it will just take off the surface rust instead of pulling the zinc off. So yeah, that whole headlight bulb is shot. I'll take care of that later on. You guys probably don't give a shit if the headlight works, so I gotta pull it back off anyway. I gotta fix these little cracks on the bottom of this. These headlight bezels are like unobtainium for these. I do have a new one still in the bag, but not gonna waste it. I mean, I wouldn't call it wasting it on this bike, but you know what I mean. It's worth more in the bag, and this one, you know, it'll just be a waste to put it on this bike just to dress it up and sell it. But you know, so a little bit of TLC today, man. Those bars look way better than those jank red ones that were on it, that had like overspray on them and stuff. But this bike is it's cleaning up, man. Them new fork boots look excellent on there. If you don't know by now, 223cycles.net, you can get fork boots like that, fork dust seals, the inner seals, carburetors, carburetor rebuilds, jets, all kinds of stuff, man. Mikuni and Can carbs. I think There's a little issue with Sudco these days. I think Sudco is going out of business from what I hear, but, you know, that's just what I hear. Whether it is actually happening or not, you know, and if it does happen, thanks to everybody that keeps buying Chinese carburetors, gonna put businesses like that out of business. Not cool, man. Not cool. Not cool. But anyway, quick video for you guys today, man. Not a how-to, it's just what I was doing, so I figured I'd film it. Let me know what you guys think of the ATC200X, man. It's going to come out pretty good. In the next few videos, I'm probably going to pull the engine out and recoat that black because it's just, it's not going to look good, man. I can't do it in the frame, but thankfully, the engines on these come out pretty simple. The pivot bolt doesn't go through them, so, you know, and I got to finish the tank. So once I do that and polish the plastics out and put the graphics kit on, this could be a nice little 200X, man. Nice little bike. So, you know, I got a good deal on it, and I really don't have that much in it. Maybe spent like 150 bucks on parts. Thank you guys for checking this video out, man. Video on the 330 will be soon. I'm waiting on my new wheels now, so, you know, I have wheels we could drop it on and go ride it, but it won't be like 100% done with those on it, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'll see you guys in the garage next time. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't yet, throw me a thumbs up, man. Thumbs ups help huge. As far as the channel members board, we have Paul Lapadula as a 125cc fan, and Dennis Brooks as a 250cc fan, and we got Justin Carl Films as a 500cc Big Daddy fan. So if you guys want to check that out, click the join button down there, and yeah, definitely throw me a thumbs up, man. That helps the channel way more than anything else. Drop your comments too. I will read and I will answer you. I'll see you in the next one.